Welcome back to another New World video. This time I've got something ready for the expansion that I am really excited about. We're going to be talking about one armor artifact in particular. I'm going to show you in a few minutes in the video why I think this is going to be absolutely BIS. It's going to be a free item. It's something that you can just farm from basically like a world boss, which we'll explain in a moment. And genuinely, I think this could be a game changer. I think it could be one of those items that potentially gets nerfed in maybe a couple of weeks or a couple of months. So we might just have to sort of get into the game once the expansion launched on October the 3rd. Grab that item, build a really good survivable light setup, and yeah, kind of go from there. So basically it's going to be an armor artifact, okay, which, like I said, we'll go into in a second. I think this will literally be BIS for light setups in general, definitely in PvE. DPS players and tanks almost 100% will probably want to use this item. Healers potentially, but I've not looked into all the healer potential armor artifacts yet, so I don't want to mention them too much, but theoretically you could use this definitely as a light healer. I'm not going to mention this in PvP too much because I don't have all the PvP sort of like stats to hand, but in general it will work in PvP. You might just want one of the other armor pieces for your PvP light setup if that's what you're going for. Now, just before we get into that, if you want to do me a massive favor and you like this kind of content, YouTube, like, subscribe, comment section down below, all that kind of stuff helps. We're nearly at 3,500 subs. If you want to help us get towards maybe like our next landmark of like 5,000, please sub, that'll be amazing. And of course, if you want to see me find out any of this information or just playing the game live in general, or come and ask me any more questions about upcoming content, old content, the expansion, anything, come and join my Twitch channel, which I'll put on the description box down below, and I'll put a link on channel now. Check over there and yeah, drop me a follow in advance and that'll be amazing. Also, I want to do a quick shout out for Sky the DM, who is the Amazon Game Studios creation program manager. Shout out to him. He's jumped into one of my recent Twitch streams and basically asked me, you know, like, do you want to get involved in some content for the official website? So let me quickly show you that. So if you go over to the official New World website, which is just newworld.com, if you go over to news, so this is obviously the 22nd of September when I'm releasing this video. Obviously something might be more up to date if you're reading this video like you know, a week or two later. If you go to the latest post, they put the Rise of the Angry Earth new and return and player guide. Now, as you know, my last video, it was a sort of like a preview of the expansion and what you could do for the next couple of weeks before the expansion comes out, and kind of like a guide in there as to, you know, what to do and stuff like that. So this is kind of like an article based on that. It was released on the 20th, and then basically if you scroll down, there's a couple of different content creators who have all gave some like sort of tips and hints and things that they'd like to do, and what you can do. And as you can see, we're featured in here with some of our answers. So I just wanted to do a little shout out, just say, you know, thank you so much. We've been included on some featured content on the website with a bunch of other content creators, which I think is absolutely amazing. So thank you so much for that, New World. That's the first time we've been included on any like official sort of, you know, content with New World. And then obviously down the bottom, even better, if you guys have not checked this out already, all the content creators that I've answered all the questions in here, they've all got links in here. As you can see, we're up here, and this will just take you straight over to my Twitch channel. If you want to come and drop me a follow, that would be amazing. Okay, let's not mess you guys about anymore for the start of this video. Now, the BIS armor artifact that I am talking about is called the Featherweight Jacket. Now, I want to quickly show you this, give you a mini breakdown of the artifact, where to find it, and then I'll further continue why I genuinely think this is going to be BIS and potentially even going to be nerfed in the future. It's actually crazy how good it is. Now, first of all, you'll be looking at this and you'll be thinking, Liam, it's a light chest. The only people who wear light chests really in New World are either people who are then keeping in a light build, but are then maybe using some like medium gloves or medium boots because the chest piece is really good, or it's sword and shield users. If you're using a sword and shield, because of the weight of the shield, even if it's a round shield, you can't use a medium chest, which is normally what people use. They'll use 4 pieces of light armor, but a medium chest, and that's the most armor you can possibly get, you know, while staying in medium, which is good. Now, yeah, when you're a sword and shield player, the weight of the shield, it means you have to use a light chest. So straight away with sword and shield players, you're going to be wanting using this. It's an artifact which is light chest. It's really good. Let's look at some of the perks on there just for a quick start. So we've obviously got Magnify. I think we all pretty much know what Magnify is about right now. I wish they'd slightly change this, so then every time you have a Magnify perk, it just gives you those attribute points slotted into your overall attribute bucket, rather than sort of you having to manually adjust your attributes to then get the Magnify to stack. But whatever, in general, Magnify, that's always good. We are going to go with refreshing, which we all know is good. You can stack it up to 4 times once the expansion's out. Physical version, a pretty good perk as well. And then if we go into the actual perk buckets for that final perk as well, you can get health. Now, a lot of people are saying that health is going to be the new meta perk, if you like. Obviously, wards is gone now, and you can use health in PvP and PvE. So a lot of people are saying health is going to be, you know, one of those meta perks. That's got the joint highest percentage to roll. So when you roll the last perk on this artifact, health and sturdy energy are the 2 highest at 15.6% chance to roll, unless obviously you're picking the direct perk here, which means you can just literally pick any perk you want, which is absolutely great. It's another expansion feature. But then also in there you've got like your strike conditioning, thrust conditioning, slash conditioning. So obviously maybe more going into PvP there, you can slot one of those, I guess, and all your other perks in there as well, like your invigorated or your, you know, your luck, your freedom, whatever. All these perks are available, which is really, really cool. But let's go to this insane perk, in my opinion. So this is what makes this artifact different from obviously all the others. That's the point of artifacts, right? Weightlessness, or just weightless, I think it's called. The armor is weightless. Now, what does that mean? That doesn't mean that you get 0 armor. As you can see from the, you know, the image I'm putting of this on screen now, you get your normal armor rating. So at 700 gear score, it should be 240.4 armor rating for both elemental and then physical. That's the same as like all the other light chests, there or thereabout, unless you decide to craft one, which is balanced in a different way. So you still get the armor from this, but what does that actually mean? Weightless. It literally means the armor has no weight value. So let's talk about this. If you're in the game now, hover over towards this top left hand side and you've got an equip load, right? And this is all based on weight. Now, as you can see, there are different buffs here depending on whether you are in the light bracket, the medium bracket, or the heavy bracket. Okay, now obviously the reason why a lot of DPS players and even some tanks in speed running and score running and stuff like that in endgame dungeons, the reason why they go light is because of this. The base damage is increased by 20%. This is also why healers go light, because their base healing is also plus 30%. You get the quick roll dodge and some other bits and bobs. Now, if you've never seen this before, you're a returning player or whatever, you don't quite know how this works. Essentially, the weight loads are 13.0. If you hit 13.0 or above, so 13.0 or 13.1, you then go into the medium bracket. Anything that is 12.9 or less, you stay in the light bracket, which means you get the light buffs, essentially, right? And then obviously same for medium. Medium is 13.0 all the way up to 22.9. Once you hit 23.0, you move into heavy. This is how this is going to work, right? So with this build here, just as a quick example here, I've been messing around on the current live servers, practicing for using a Warhammer main, whatever. There's a different story. Now, I'm in a light build, as you can see here. I'm basically 12.9, which means I've got my maximum armor. So all the maximum armor that I can physically get is the maximum I can get while staying in light. Now, whilst trying to do this, I've used a medium chest piece. So how this artifact is going to work, weight-wise, you essentially do that. Oh, no, that didn't work. There we go. You essentially do that, okay? So you will still have an armor in there. You'll have the featherweight jacket. That'll still be there. You'll still get all the armor. You'll still get all the perks. But weight-wise, it does this. Now, instantly, anybody who currently plays the game, you've got to be looking at that and going, I see what's going on here. I see how this could be really, really good. Now, what this basically means is you can swap out some of your other light pieces, because obviously the lighter the armor, the less the armor value. So obviously if I put a medium piece on now, the armor value on that will be higher. So for example here, we got some medium boots. Okay, so now the light boots that you can see I've got equipped have 89.9 armor for elemental, and then the same for physical. If we went to some medium boots here, we would have 155.8 armor. Now this obviously isn't even scaled up to 625, and then obviously 700 in the expansion. So essentially what I'm trying to show you is you get a lot more armor the heavier the armor. Now, again, just kind of quickly trying to show you what we're doing here. I'm just practicing with some trash gear that I've got. Now, we've changed our light boots to medium. We changed our light gloves to medium, and we've changed our helmet to heavy helmet. Now, I don't know if you've noticed it. Now, again, this is kind of practicing having that lightweight jacket in there. Look at this. We are still below 13 point overall weight, but now look at our armor. Our overall armor has gone way higher. So anyone not quite understanding this, if I show you this here, so this is with all light equipped. Now we would also have the same armor value if we were to use a light chest. So, yeah, a light chest. So we would already add the light chest in here. But a quick one down here. If we look at our armor down here with all light equipped, now again, you'd add the light chest in here as well. So this is 389.6 on both sides. And then as a quick example here, just chucking on, for example, a heavy helmet, the medium gloves and the medium boots. Look at our armor now, 714. And again, we would also add the light chest piece. But you understand the point I'm trying to make, right? Weight wise, we would still in the expansion once this comes out, and if you choose to use this this light chest artifact, you can now stack more heavier pieces of gear. We can find the perfect combination, and we would still be in the right equip load. Now obviously when you're then playing around with a shield, you might not go heavy helmet, you might then go medium helmet, and then you can put on the round shield, and you'd still stay into 12.9 or below. And the overall point I want to make here is when season 1 came out, I'll put some images up in a minute, but when season 1 came out, they changed how fortify worked. Now before season 1, basically you could play all light armor, obviously medium chest. You could even use your greatsword, and obviously when you go into onslaught stance, you even take plus 15% damage, and you could just battle your way through M10s, going like 15 con to 5 con, and just surviving. It was pretty hard to die. Season 1 came out, fortify changed, and basically fortify was then weighted more around your armor rating. Well, yeah, your armor rating. So the more armor you have, the more effective fortify is. Now, while everybody was going these full light builds, well, you have less armor. So therefore, fortify, which can be applied by, various different ways, by your healers, by yourself, by whatever. Fortify is basically what prevents a percentage of damage being taken from mobs and stuff. So right now in the game, using fortify on light players it's not really that very good. This will enable you to stay light. This is why I think it's BIS. This will enable you to stay light, which gives you all of the plus damage or plus healing buffs, as we've shown you over here in the top left hand side. It'll give you all of these buffs. However, you then get to stack more armor overall, which means things like fortify. Armor in general is just good. Having more armor means you take less damage, right? And then having fortify on you when you have more armor means fortify actually starts to work again. I think this is crazy. This is why I've spoken to a couple of people about this on my stream like about a week ago when we first come across looking at this item, and I was thinking, this is crazy. First of all, I play a lot of sword and shield DPS builds. We've got some guides on the channel if you want to go check those out. I'm also going to be bringing out some season 3/expansion guides for DPS, sword and shield DPS, loads of that again. Subscribe, all that kind of stuff if you want to see those videos. But guys, this is huge. This is literally huge. And let me bring up this example. So this is so I've spoken to Mags, I've spoken to Hrodgir. I call him Hrodgir, it's Roger. Basically, yeah, for anyone who doesn't know quite how fortify works, I popped this up, and I just wanted to double check with this question. And yeah, so here we go. Using the light chest artifact can increase the base armor rating up to about 30%, okay? Which means any fortify applied can also be seen as like a 30% more effect indirectly, so that you're getting such a 30% is huge. Same, obviously, then going on to like the 200 comp perk and stuff like that. And I just wanted some confirmation from some of the guys who do the speedrun. And as you can see here, they say this is huge in PvE speedruns, especially for tanks in light armor, because now you're going to have a lot more base armor, which is going to be really cool. And then obviously the fortify is going to help out there. So there's just like a bit of confirmation on screen, guys, just so you could see what I was looking at. Now, I believe one of the, after some testing's been done, one of the best combinations, just in case you want that answered as well, I believe it could be heavy head and heavy footwear. They will be the best 5 combinations. Now I want to do some double checking once the expansion comes out, just to double check. But if you want to start thinking about potentially some gear to pair with this, go and start looking for heavy headpiece. Obviously you'll have this light chest piece artifact, light glove, light legs, heavy foot. That should give you overall the most amount of plus armor rating, so therefore then the fortified changes come in and really help you. I think this is crazy. I honestly think this is crazy. This is so good. But now you're wondering, where do we get this from in the expansion? So this artifact is dropped by, I think it's like a named world boss. It's called NewWorld or NewWorld. NewWorld. I don't know how you pronounce that, right? I'm not even too sure. But you're basically, it's like a level 66 or 68, I believe now. It's like a NewWorld elite mob. Basically, it's Angry Earth based. And it's going to be over on the west side of the new Elysium Wilds expansion zone, okay? I'll put a little picture up on screen of exactly where it'll be. And then obviously once you get in game, you can probably get to 62 plus and then start farming this, get it ready for then you can start using it in your in-game builds. And guess I'm so excited about this item. Now, another thing I just want to quickly mention, another reason why I think this will be really, really good. So basically, don't really pay attention to what you see on screen here. This is me practicing something in the current live game. So another reason why this will be really, really good. A lot of light players right now will, if you're playing in group finders and stuff, a lot of light players right now will be playing with like 50 to 100 con. Now, I'm not saying everybody, I'm saying group finders. You'll see 50 to 100 con. They'll be playing in light, so they'll be getting all the bonuses of doing the extra damage, which is good, but then they're wasting 50 to 100 con when that 50 to 100 constitution points could be used on extra strength, extra dexterity, or depending on exactly what their build is. A further reason why I believe this chess piece to be BIS is you can now reduce all that con all the way back down to like what the speed runners do or the max score runners do. I tend to run anything from 5 to 15 most of the time. If I'm playing with a group and I'm like, oh, this is a bit sketchy, maybe I'll play 15 con. But 9 times out of 10, I'll play 5 to 15 con. And this further armor enhancement rating while staying in light, all the fortify extra that you get from it, honestly, it's really good. I know I'm kind of repeating myself now, I'm going a bit too crazy, but I really think this is BIS, and it's gonna fly into some of my builds. So again, you know, come over to Twitch, check me out there. You'll see me using all these builds. And yeah, guys, I hope you guys agree. Now, if for whatever reason you don't agree with everything I'm saying here, bear in mind I have put a bit of thought into this. I have put a bit of practicing on the PTR, not too much because then it closed down. And this is more like a big theory craft video. I've double checked with people like Mags and Hrodgir, you know, just to double check I'm not completely stupid here and I'm missing something. They both agree. They think this is fucking crazy. This is BIS. This is going to be really, really good for speed running or just in general being a better light DPS player for all the reasons I've mentioned. This is a crazy artifact. I think we need to log into the expansion. We need to start farming this straight away. This is going to be such a cool piece. And try and get your use out of it for the first couple of weeks in game, because if you don't, and they nerf it or they change it, you know, then at least you could have said, you know what, I tried that item for the first couple of weeks in the expansion. It was great. I got all these great records or whatever, great achievements. Absolutely buzzing. So yeah, there we go, guys. I'll also put a link down to Hrodgir's stream down below. He obviously streams on Twitch. You can drop in there, ask him questions as well. I was going to hook up Mags as well because I was double checking Fortify with him, but he's not currently making content, so I can't actually shout him out. That was the point. If I get any tips from anywhere, I always try and shout those people out. I don't own all of this information, do you know what I mean? And then, of course, guys, I'll be making lots more YouTube videos. If you want to drop a sub and a like, comment section down below if you disagree or agree with this, by the way. If you really like this video, you like this idea of this item, comment section down below. And guys, please follow me on Twitch. That would be amazing. We're currently averaging like 50, 60 viewers every stream. If we could get up to 70, 75 plus, who knows, maybe go for partner one day, nice purple tick. That'd be glorious. But for that, I need you guys to come over to Twitch, watch my streams, lurk on my streams, all that kind of stuff, ask questions, do whatever you want. And yeah, guys, I will see you in the next one.